Good evening, everybody. I'm Brandon Faulkner. I'm an intern for Village Core, and today I will be giving a little breakdown on how to stay safe on the internet and what exactly internet safety is. One second. So, to begin, what exactly is internet safety, you may be asking? Well, internet safety basically means that your information and that you yourself are protected at all times when navigating the web. You see, now in the day of computers, there are more and more scams that are likely to pop up and that you are likely to fall for. They try to make it seem like they are somebody that you know and somebody that you trust, or they're coming from a legitimate business that you know and trust. And they try to make it seem like they are in need of help, or that you may have an order that is messed up, or say a health emergency or something like that. So it's getting more and more advanced nowadays, thanks to the help of AI and other different forms of the internet that these scammers are using. Um, a long time ago, it used to be the form of phone calls and emails. They would send out, and they still do these things. They send out phone calls and emails saying, you know, hey, grandma, it's your grandson, Brandon. I just got in a car accident. I need you to send me $2,000 so I can pay this guy off, when in reality, that person is stealing the money that you are sending them. They make it sound super urgent and they make it sound super realistic. You see, it's not just a small majority of people or a small minority of people falling for these scams. Quite literally, anybody could fall for these scams, and staying safe online is the most important thing. Especially with the rise of people buying more and more things on the internet, staying safe is what is most important nowadays. Especially due to the pandemic that we recently came out of, with everybody buying things online. Online scams seem to be skyrocketing. And not too long ago, there was a thing where hackers were hacking into computers and completely shutting them down, and holding your computer for ransom until you paid them off a certain amount of money. So let's take a look about how safe is the internet. You see, the internet is a very, very large place. The internet has billions of users per day, and so much activity is going on each second that it's hard to comprehend what exactly is going on with the internet at any single given time and point. But this is not to scare you. You see, what people normally do on the internet is they normally check their email, they normally text their friends, they normally watch movies, and they normally buy things online. You see, that is a typical thing that people do on the internet, or they use it for work as well. Oftentimes, you may be doing online banking with the internet through your trusted bank, such as Chase Bank or other well-known banks across the United States. The most important thing to note is that anything at any moment could pop up and it could be a likely scam. So it is important to realize what is a scam and what isn't. But as I mentioned before, it is kind of hard to tell what is a scam and what isn't. So typically, let's say emails. If you're getting an email from, say, a company like Amazon, you want to make sure that it has the @amazon.com handle after it. If it does not have the @amazon.com and is coming from a person or is coming from a robot, that is immediately a red flag. That means that that is a very likely scam that you're about to fall into. And if you do click that link, they can either hold your computer for ransom, or they could access all your information and data online. So let's take a look at why is internet safety so important, and what are a few misconceptions. You see, misconception number one is that cyber attacks aren't really harmful. And you see, this is wrong because cyber attacks are extremely harmful. There have been many people who have lost thousands and thousands upon hundreds of thousands of dollars just from internet scams alone. that is an immense amount of money that is being taken away from you and that you could fall into a trap for at any given time. The misconception number 2 is that other people online will keep you safe. That is not the reality of things. The reality of things is that you are kind of isolated on your own little island on the internet. You may be engaging with different people and you may be engaging with different websites, but you really are on kind of your own little island that is set for you. The internet likes to scan your preferences, likes to scan your data and your details, and oftentimes it knows what you want. It knows what you are thinking. Say you want to plan a trip to Hawaii. Say you've been thinking about it and talking about it. Well, ads will start popping up based on that preference of you talking about wanting to go to Hawaii. All of a sudden, you'll start getting ads about, flights to Hawaii, about things that you might want to do in Hawaii, about travel research and stuff, about 100 best things to do in Hawaii. That is the internet listening to you. But it's not always bad. You see, with companies like Amazon and companies and other companies out there, they're really just trying to make it user-friendly. Amazon is trying to make it user-friendly in the sense that they want you to buy products online from them and from their third-party companies that they are working with. Other companies such as PayPal want to use online transactions and online banking to help you send money and receive money faster. These are websites that are truly trying to be helpful, but there are often websites that aren't trying to be helpful and that do steal your information once you click on that link. So not everybody online will try to keep you safe. And another misconception that a lot of people think about is, I'm not important enough to be targeted. And the reality of that is, yes, you are. Quite literally, anybody is important enough to be targeted. At any given moment, somebody could hold any amount of money in their accounts, or any information, any type of information about you could be stolen off the internet. You may think, oh, it's only governments that get hacked. It's only my government that gets hacked from time to time because the government is important. Well, yes, the government is important, but also you are important. You see, if somebody gets a hold of your social security account, they have your entire lives in their hands. That is something super scary, but there are ways to stay safe from that, and there are ways to protect yourself against it. Companies like Aura are out there trying to make sure that you stay safe on the internet. You see, what Aura does is it basically sets up a massive kind of web for your family. So it links you between, your grandson, your granddaughter, you yourself, parents, anybody. It links you all together and it keeps you safe online. Also, it keeps you safe with things like phone calls. So what Aura does is it tries to identify who the phone call is coming from, and if it seems like a likely scam call, then it will immediately block the call and send it to their servers, which they will deal with the scam and report the scam. There are other options that you may not even know about, such as Apple. Apple's security system currently is doing all right. Apple will notify you when you get a phone call. It'll pop up underneath the phone number that it may say likely spam call, and you have the option to either pick it up or decline it. Or with Apple's latest feature, you can actually click a button to ignore calls that you don't know entirely. So I myself have that option enabled where I don't receive phone calls from anybody who I don't know, and you'll immediately send them straight to voicemail. So if it is a person that I know, they can leave me a voicemail, but if it isn't, then I can just delete the voicemail and block the number, and it is completely fine. And I'm not being scammed at any given time. But also another thing is email. Email is one of the biggest things that scammers like to go after. We've all heard of the Nigerian prince scheme and all that, about how you can turn a measly $500 into $50,000, which is within just 30 days. often, people are getting smarter to the scam, but it is still one that happens. And they're starting to get more smart with different forms of scamming you. So one of those forms of scamming you online is getting your phone number and actually calling you through the form of spoofing and using AI. So right now, what AI can do is it can convert the person's voice and can make it sound like them entirely. So things that you want to look out for is the urgency in somebody's voice and how far-fetched the scheme seems. So say you get a phone call from somebody that you know saying that they need a lawyer and they need X amount of money. Always pay attention to how they're speaking. If it's fast and rapid and they seem scared, then it is most likely a scam call. It is always good to make sure that you make sure their intentions are known when proceeding with phone calls like this. So let's move on here. This link actually doesn't work, so we actually have to back out and go to how to exactly stay safe on the internet. So as I mentioned before, it is always good to find a trusted piece of antivirus software. So this could be on a phone, it could be on a computer, it could be on virtually anything that is connected to the internet. So as I mentioned before, Aura keeps you safe online and with phone calls, but there are other antivirus softwares out there that do try to help you. But there are some that are also scams. So it is good to do your research into which antivirus software is the best for you and which one is not a scam. And it is always, always, always important to make sure that your passwords are protected wisely. You see, a scammer can get a hold of your password by simply just asking what your favorite type of animal is. When's your birthday? When's a family member's birthday? Anything like that. Your favorite type of color. Anything like that that may be useful to them, they will try to get out of you. And this is something that has happened repeatedly. And it's very sad to see when somebody gives up their password just because they answer a question about, what their favorite animal is or when their birthday is. The most common type of password is actually your birthday or any important day in your life that may be important to you or important to somebody else. It's very important to look out when you're creating a password about what you're actually putting into the password field. So also, if a website looks fishy, don't click it, and especially don't go on it or do anything with it, interact with it. Don't do anything with it. So oftentimes, if you see, say your friend emailed you a funny video online and they sent it over and you see a link pop up in your email, it is always important to make sure that you stay safe and clear from that link, because that link could be a possible scam, because you might say, hey, it's my friend and I trust my friend and they wouldn't do something like that. Well, a scammer might have already hacked them already and might be sending out an email looking like them to you in order for you to click it so they can just continue on the chain. And it is always important to control how much personal information you actually put out there on the internet. So through social media apps and stuff, it is not a really good thing to like post your birthday, because now scammers know your birthday and how old you are and what you look like and all that sort of stuff. So say you want to make a cute little birthday post saying, I just turned X age, it's my birthday, wish me happy birthday. They can easily get a hold of that information and use that information to scam you down the line. It is also important to make payments on only trusted websites. So websites that a lot of people know about and websites that are very trustable are the ones that you want to be making these payments on. So like websites like Amazon, it is always important to make sure that you are doing it correctly with Amazon. And it's also important to log out of websites and other internet-based programs when you're done using them, because oftentimes it is an easy way for a scammer to get into your account if you are still logged in, because they can just simply click through and access it the same way as you did and steal all your information. So it is always important to log out of things and make sure that you don't get scammed at any point. So let's go over exactly what an antivirus software is and how exactly it works. So basically what an antivirus software is it's kind of like your white blood cells and like your body trying to protect itself from a virus. So basically inside your computer, there's a lot of ones and zeros being thrown around and a lot of data and code being thrown around. So what antivirus software does is it kind of hooks onto that and kind of tries to scan what is coming through, what you are clicking on and what you are looking at. And it scans it to see whether or not it's a virus or not. So especially with websites like Google, they have their own antivirus software built in. So they'll actually notify you if a website seems untrustable to their antivirus software. But of course, websites still do get through this. So it's always important to have another one on your computer, just in case that a sketchy website might slip through. So basically what antivirus software does is it takes an analysis of what is coming in, and then it'll fight against what is trying to come in and essentially just block it or just report it to somewhere else. So here we have a few free antivirus softwares such as Avast, Avara. There are also paid ones. Usually the paid ones are better because you're paying for the service, so it's a little bit stronger. So we have Casper Skylab, Bitefender, things like that are good antivirus softwares to use. Of course, this website's a little bit outdated, so it is always important to actually do your research on antivirus softwares before you actually go out and buy one. So let's look at how to actually use a antivirus software. And then we'll get into the questioning period. So to use an antivirus software, there are multiple different methods depending on which one you're actually using, but it does do real-time scanning. So if you think that there is a virus present on your computer, you simply actually have to turn on the antivirus software and it'll scan your computer in real time. It'll check every single file. It'll check every single website you visited, everything that you inputted. It'll check to make sure that there isn't something hiding, because oftentimes viruses do like to hide on your computer. So it's always good to make sure that you run an antivirus software from time to time on your computer. You can also do manual scans. So you can do automatic scans where it scans it automatically, or you can do manual scans. So you can also scan different areas of your computer. So you can either scan the whole computer or you can scan a specific file, which is actually really important if you're receiving files through emails. So you just have to kind of like drag and drop that file into the antivirus software, and it'll scan it for a virus. You can also kind of create a sort of system for it to kind of look at specific times and days of when you want to just go through and scan, and always keep it up to date in order to make sure that you are staying safe online. So emails especially, we get so many emails every single day, and we always hit yes to the emails. You may not realize it, but you do sometimes accidentally hit yes. I want to receive emails about updates and promotions and stuff like that. So it's always important to make sure that you try to stay away from this, as well as if a website prompts you to enable your location, always make sure that that is a trusted website before you do it, or just completely don't do it at all, because it's the scammers will try to steal your location based off of that, and it leads to negative consequences. So as you can see, there are options in your email such as the spam folder, phishing scams, unsafe attachments. It's always important to look out for what might hit you next, because at any moment you could get a virus on your computer. And I'm going to actually show you something that kind of looks a little bit sketchy to me, at least, with this website actually. So as you can see here, I'm getting an actual ad that says new homes for the high 300s. This looks a little bit fishy to me, so of course I'm not going to click it. But if I were, it may be a scam. So now let's get into the question period. So if anybody in the chat has any questions, raise your hand and I'll be happy to answer them. So does anybody? Anyone have any questions about staying safe? Me personally, I don't exactly remember what it's called, but I know we've had it for a very long time. And it was actually, I believe it was actually a promotion with the computer that we bought. So if we bought the computer, we'd get like a free year of the antivirus software, and then we just keep paying for it after another, like just keep paying for it down the line. Are there any other questions? If not, we will end soon. But I kind of want to reiterate that it is important to always stay safe online, especially in the age of technology now, with AI and all these different sort of things that are happening with technology. Always stay safe. So that's all. I could talk about internet safety for hours, but that's all the time I have currently. So if you guys do want to see more events like this, or just events about the internet in general, check out the Village Core website and go under the events tab. There will be a list of events on different days that may spark your interest and that you are free to attend. And I'll be going over some other things that you may be interested, or safety things. It could be anything. Also, if you miss a meeting, these are all recorded and they are going up on the Village Core YouTube channel. So be sure to check that out, and make sure to stay safe online. And yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys about staying safe online. So I'll see you guys later.